What's up guys, Mystic Frost here, and today I am redoing this week's Yu-Gi-Oh vlog of can I pay for a wedding with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. For those of you who saw the original video, I didn't actually play this week. I was judging an event, an OTS event, so it was more giving thoughts in between rounds and just making comments about the event in total, and then following it up with a box opening at the end. In the video itself, and it's always good to address things that you do wrong, and I did stuff wrong, to put it simply. I was referring to players by their names rather than their decks, and that kind of takes away some of the ambinuity, or whatever the bloody word is. The players there, obviously a lot of them really don't mind. They don't even mind their names being said. Some do, some don't, but they don't mind me showing off our gameplay, and I'm very thankful for their help and support in making the videos, because at the end of the day I do not record anyone or any gameplay that they don't want to be recorded. Same even after I've recorded it, if they don't want it used for the vlog, I don't use it. It's that simple, because their right to privacy and their right to go and enjoy the hobby supersedes my right to record. It's that simple. Like, anybody who records, that's secondary. It is a case of their comfortability to play the game, or even, let's be fair about it, you've seen all the gym people go gym and film there. The people there have the right to feel comfortable, and if that's not being on camera, or don't want them on camera or their names on camera, then you don't do it. Obviously it wasn't done intentionally, and they know that, and thankfully they're all okay, or at least the ones I've spoken to anyway. There's no hard feelings or anything there, so I don't want you guys to think that there is, but as such I decided to take that video down. It was salvageable, but I wanted to take it down because at the end of the day it didn't sit right with me. Once I actually watched the video back, it wasn't a good representation of what I want to do and what I want this channel to do. And as a human being you do better, and as a Yu-Gi-Oh judge as well, you do better. That's just not acceptable. So that's the intro done anyway. And obviously it's going to be a little bit more of a me talking kind of video, because obviously the event's already taken place, and that's fine, but we're going to talk about the event as well. Now, one thing that one of my friends did say is it'd be quite interesting to hear about some of the judge calls on the day, and my thought process to get to how I reached that outcome. And it's a great idea. I love that idea. Unfortunately, I didn't get a single judge call. That's the thing when you're playing with, people who know the game. Let's be honest here, a lot of them actually know the game better than I do. They kind of self-regulate a lot of it on us there, isn't it? Because somebody has to be. You can't do an OTS or a regional or whatever without an official judge. Like the last OTS, I had several judge calls. Just this one, I had none. No one needed any rulings or anything. So sadly, I can't go over any judge calls I had and what decisions would be made. But if you guys ever have any judge questions, feel free to leave them in a comment, or over on TikTok, or even here on these videos, put them in the comments and I'll do my best to answer them. Obviously I talked to a few guys there, more than others, so it was just more a case of going over some of the decks that we had there, some of the representation, and along with what performed well on the day to other decks. Obviously in this format it is the Year of the Fire. Our OTS this week only had 13 people, so it wasn't a huge OTS at all. I think we actually normally get more for our normal locals than we do that. So it's quite a small event. And we still had 4 fire decks. So that was the most represented deck there this week. We had 3 pure Snake Eyes and one Snake Eye Viking. The pure Snake Eyes build certainly does seem to be the more favourable of the two. Don't really know why. I'll be honest, I don't play them. I can't afford to play them. Like, those decks are ridiculously expensive, but there's a reason for it. They're really good. It's that simple. But interestingly enough, they did not get first or second place. So, other decks we had there this week. So, like I said, we had 4 fire decks. We had a single Kashtira deck. We had a Sword Soul deck, which was nice to see that. As a former Sword Soul player myself, it's nice to see that still getting some representation in it in 2024. One of my favourite decks of all time, if anyone is familiar with the channel for a while now, is MathMech. I absolutely love the Cyverse archetypes, well, typing. And there was a new player there called Reese. Did it again, but I've spoken to Reese, he's fine with me saying his name. And he was on Signet, and yeah, it's so much fun to see that deck get representation in 2024. It wasn't MathMech, it was a Signet build, to put it simply. It had some sprinkling of access code, like all of that stuff. What code talkers? That's the word I was looking for. A little bit of MathMech, a little bit of Firewall. It was a lovely little mashup. We had a Voiceless Voice deck there as well. That looks so interesting to me. I would love to get to know that deck a bit better, and hopefully during these local vlogs we can play against Voiceless Voice at least once or twice. I don't think I'd do very good against it, but I want to play it. The deck looks interesting to me. We also had a plant variant deck. I wrote Ricker down, but it wasn't just Ricker. That was obviously an engine within it. It was very much a plant deck, and that was fun to see. And we also had Virtual World. That's coming out of nowhere. I can see online as well that Virtual World's getting a lot more love and a lot more attention. And it actually beat one of the pure Snake Eye decks in one of the rounds. And to me, that's interesting. I wish I actually sat and watched that match. Maybe for the next OTS I'll bring feature matches back, because Virtual World versus Snake Eyes I think would have been one hell of a feature match. So I've got some of the results down. First place went to Kashtira. They took first. In round 3 it was Kashtira versus Voiceless Voice. They took 1 game apiece, and then the Voiceless Voice player did brick, which is unfortunate, and then the Kashtira player was able to pull that forward and really run with it, which Kashtira is Kashtira. You know what I mean? Like, the deck is still so good, and the fact that they can play Shifter as well. I'm not saying Shifter wins games. Well, Shifter does win games, but I'm not saying Shifter won this player's games for him, but you know, just the fact that they can play Shifter, and Shifter hurts so many decks out in the format, is, you know, you're either a Shifter deck or you lose to Shifter. And so that was great. Yeah, we also had a Bishal Runic player there this time round, and one of the most interesting decks for me anyway was a Chaos Max Blue Eyes deck. Like, in 2024, that's amazing. I love the fact that Blue Eyes are still getting played. With, you know, the Virtual World lost to Vanquish Soul in round 1. We had Voiceless Voice win against the Fire King Snake Eyes in round 1, which was really great. We had Kashtira beat the Bestial Runic in round 1. Again, I don't know if that's due to Shifter or not hurting the Bestial side of it. Like I said, I haven't really watched any of the actual gameplays, because, you know, I was sitting at my judging station ready to take any calls. And that's all I've got for round 1. Round 2, we had Virtual World losing to Pure Snake Eyes. We had Kashtira beat Chaos Max Blue Eyes. And we had Virtual World beat Plants. Not Virtual World, sorry. Voiceless Voice beat Plants. And that again, would have been a fantastic game. The players involved there, both very high caliber players. Voiceless Voice versus Plants, with the people piloting those decks, that would have been a feature match and a half. That would have been most probably one of the highlight matches of the whole event, to be honest with you. That would have been good. Round 3, we had Vanquished Soul win against a Snake Eye deck. The player of that Snake Eye deck dropped after that round, so that brought us down to 12 players for round 4. Yeah, it happens. Like, you know, when things don't go your way on the day, sometimes it's better to drop and just save some time. Like I said, round 3 is when we had the Cash versus Voiceless Voice with the Brick. And then in round 4, we had the Vanquished Soul versus the Plant deck. Again, that would have been a good one to watch. We had Kashtira in basically the finals. These were the only 2 players who were undefeated at the time, and that was against another Snake Eye deck. And again, Kashtira took that win. Again, speaking to the player afterwards, he did win 2-0. I don't know how dominant the 2-0 victory was, or if they were both very close. Like I said, I don't know on that, but I'd imagine they were close given the players involved. And again, it's just amazing. You know, it's great gameplay by both, I'm sure. And then we also had Voiceless Voice versus Virtual World, and Voiceless Voice won. So at the end, Kashtira went undefeated on the day, winning all 4 rounds. Voiceless Voice went 3-1. We had 2 Snake Eye decks go 3-1 as well, I want to say. And then, so I know Kashtira came first. Voiceless Voice took 2nd place. One of the Snake Eyes decks took 4th place. I honestly can't remember who took 3rd. Yeah, off the top of my head, I honestly cannot remember who took 3rd. I want to say it was Virtual World, but I don't think it was. I think there was another deck there that took 3rd place. Might have been Plants, because Plant also went 3-1 that day. So I think it was Plant, actually. I think it was Plant 3rd, and then, like I said, Snake Eyes came 4th and 5th, I believe. So yeah, it was very interesting. Like I said, it was very, very interesting. I expected to see Snake Eyes on the day. I'll be honest, I expected the Snake Eyes deck to win, given the meta threat that they are, and that it is a tier 0 format. And I appreciate a 13-man OTS isn't much to go off data-wise. However, just seeing that Kashtira not just can, but does beat Snake Eyes consistently is fantastic. Maybe it's not as tier 0 as what people are making it out to be. And let's be fair about it. And this is now no longer Judge. This is me as a player. Kashtira may be the deck to invest in if you are looking for a meta contender deck, or Voiceless Voice over the Snake Eyes. Now, the reason why I say that is because historically, when Yu-Gi-Oh! Has entered the tier 0 format, there are either emergency ban lists to nerf a deck which is running rampant over the larger event scenes, or if there's not an emergency ban list, they do get hit on the next ban list. Whether that's just things getting limited rather than outright banned, but the consistency of the deck definitely takes a hit. People will then tack in other engines into those decks, and then more things get hit and hit and hit. And given the price of the cards of the fire deck, if you want to play competitively, but you do not want to spend hundreds and hundreds of pounds on one deck, which will get hit on a ban list, whether it's the March ban list or the one after that, then either Kashtira or Voiceless Voice I recommend, as Voiceless Voice will get more support. It's already been announced in one of the sets coming out soon, and Kashtira is as powerful today than what it was when a Rise Heart was unbanned. And Kashtira, I cannot see getting any further hits. At worst, maybe Fenrir will get limited to 2. I can't see it going to 1, but even if they put Fenrir to 1, okay. I still think the deck would perform just as well with 1 Fenrir as it does to 3. But that's my train of thought. Obviously, we all know I am a fusion player at the moment. I like purple, it's my favourite colour. So I am currently on the Chimera branded for now. I've picked up a lot of the Yubel cards. I've got all the new Yubel support. I've ordered, I've got 1 copy of Yubel. I've ordered another copy of Yubel and the 2 evolved forms of it. I've also got 2 copies of Dark Beckoning Beast and 2 copies of the Spirit Gate. Whether that's to play pure Yubel or if I can try and find a way to make Chimera Yubel work, then that could be something to look at moving forward. Now I appreciate that this is a now 16-minute video of me just sitting at the camera rambling, so I do apologise. I hope the fact that I'm losing my voice and I've got a sore throat doesn't make this too unbearable to watch. And I'd just like to say that next week will be a very interesting week as well. We don't really call it meme week anymore, it's what we used to call it, but it's not so much meme week. It's just a fun week. It's a week where everyone just takes a fun deck rather than, you know, battling it out for, you know, first place with top tier decks. We just take something that's a bit more fun. And I am taking my first ever 60 card pile. I've never taken a 60 card deck before because anything over 42 makes me very itchy. I'm an old school boomer player where 40 is the optimal number. I'll go a couple of cards over that, but that's it. So the fact that I am going to be playing a 60 card deck, yeah, it makes me itchy, to be fair. But it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. And of course, I'll have the deck profile for you guys next week. I'm not going to put it in this video because I want to try and catch some people off guard with what I'm playing. And again, big shout out to the member of the community who did message me privately and talk to me about my original video that I put up. And the, not concerns, it wasn't concerns because he knew the way me and Isaac spoke in that video was, you know, innocent and it was fun and whatnot, and it was fun, but obviously I gave out information that, you know, I shouldn't have given out. I should have done better. It's not a case of done better, I should have thought better. Like, I was so wrapped up in trying to get the content out as early as possible, I didn't even stop to think. And, you know, we must always listen when somebody raises something to you and take it on board. And like I said, there's no drama, anything like that, and I have much love and appreciation to the person who raised their thoughts to me. They are an outstanding member of the community, and I am so happy that they did reach out to me, that not only did they voice their opinion, but that they felt comfortable enough to do that as well, because to me that's what this is all about. This is me trying to pay for a wedding and having fun with friends along the way, and that's what I hope these vlogs show, is that it is fun with friends. And thank you. Now, I don't know if I'm still going to put the box video on the end of this or if that's just going to be dropped off to a separate thing, but if it is, the box video is next. If it's not, it will be a later video by itself, or that might even just go over to TikTok. So same name, check me out over there, and I will catch you guys next week. Have a good one.